Assalamu alaikum my dear students, welcome you to solve paper of chemistry 2025 May-June. So we are going to start to solve MCQs from MCQ number 11 to 20 today, and later on we will solve all of them inshallah. So here we start. So moving on towards MCQ number 11 of paper 2025 IGCSE May-June 2025. Concentrated aqueous sodium chloride is electrolyzed using inert electrodes. What is the main product formed at a positive electrode? Anode. Alright, so students, whenever we electrolyze an aqueous solution of concentrated sodium chloride, so there are two electrodes. The negative one is known as the cathode and the positive one is known as the anode. So we have two type of ions, sodium and chloride. So definitely sodium, because of the aqueous solution, hydrogen goes towards the cathode, and from the water hydroxyl ion and chloride ion, definitely due to higher concentration, chlorine goes towards the cathode and gets liberated off. So the correct answer will be chlorine, that is liberated at the anode. Alright, question number 12. A hydrogen oxygen fuel cell uses 630 decimeter cube of oxygen. The oxygen for the reaction is extracted from the clean dry air. What is the minimum volume of clean dry air needed to provide this volume of oxygen? So student, the simple trick to this question is that we know this thing that clean air contains 21% of oxygen by mass. So we have to calculate each and every figure 21%. So the correct answer will be 3000 decimeter cube, because 21% of 3000 decimeter cube will be 830 dm cube. So the correct option is option C, that is 3000 decimeter cube. MCQ number 13. Three statements about energy changes in chemical reactions are listed. Number 1. In an endothermic reaction, the temperature of the surrounding increases. That's wrong. In an endothermic reaction, the temperature of surrounding gas decreases. So the option is incorrect. In an exothermic reaction, thermal energy is taken in from the surrounding. So whenever we burn a coal, thermal energy is always liberated off, not taken in. So this is also incorrect. In the reaction pathway diagram for an exothermic reaction, the energy level of the products is lower than the energy level of the reactants. Yes, that's true, because we know this thing that whenever we make energy profile diagram for the exothermic reaction, energy level for the reactants is always higher as compared to energy levels of the product. And we know this thing that excess energy is always given out to the surroundings as heat. So option number D is correct. So moving forward, when a small piece of group 1 metal is placed in a large beaker of cold water, a reaction occurs. Four statements about this reaction are listed. Number 1, the metal melts. Okay, so let's discuss about this observation. The metal melts whenever we have a beaker and we put metal from any metal from alkali metals group 1. So it always floats over the surface. It darts over the surface and then floats at a very high speed, and then what happens, the metal gets dissolved and hydrogen gas is always liberated in the reaction. So the metal never melts, so the option is wrong. Okay, hydrogen gas is produced. Yes, that's correct. After the reaction, hydrogen gas is always produced. Steam is produced. Steam, okay, let's see what happens when we add sodium to water, to Na. Alright, so let's write on the equation. 2Na plus 2H2O. After reaction, 2NaOH plus H2. So hydrogen gas is liberated and alkali is formed. So steam is produced, that's also wrong. The pH solution increases. Yes, whenever we have an alkaline solution, its pH is always greater than 7. So option 2 and option 4 are correct. So let's look in the options now. 2 and 4. So option okay, 3 is wrong. Option D is correct, that contains option 2 and 4. So D is the correct answer, whereas C is also wrong. So question number 6. The equation for decomposition of hydrogen peroxide is shown. 2H2O2 after reaction 2H2O plus O2. The reaction is exothermic. Okay, we are talking about an exothermic reaction in which heat energy is always liberated in the form of heat. When a small amount of catalyst is added, the oxygen is produced more quickly. So which statement about the catalyst is correct? So they're talking about the properties of a catalyst, that which property in the following options is correct about a catalyst. So the catalyst makes the reaction more exothermic. No, it does not change the energy level of a reaction. The mass of a catalyst is the same before and after the reaction. Alright, so mass of catalyst is same before and after a chemical reaction. That's perfectly correct. Let's see the other options. The catalyst increases the final volume of oxygen produced. No, it never increases the yield. It has no effect on the output of a reaction. All the catalyst is used up. No, never. The catalyst is never used up during a chemical reaction. So option B is correct. I hope it is understood. Question number 16. The equation for the reaction between copper oxide and carbon is shown. 2CuO plus C after reaction 2Cu plus CO2. That means 2 moles of copper oxide reacts with carbon to form 2 moles of copper elemental in the solid state, and carbon dioxide gas is produced. So which statement about the reaction is correct? Option A, copper oxide is reduced. Reduced means something that loses oxygen. So you have to make an arrow from copper oxide towards the copper and see. Yes, lost oxygen? Yes, it loses oxygen after the reaction. So copper oxide is reduced. That is correct option. Let's see the other options. Always read the other options too, because sometimes in a hurry you take a wrong answer. So always read all the options to make sure that you have marked the correct answer. Carbon dioxide is oxidized. Carbon dioxide is oxidized. You never look at the product side. You always have to refer the reactants to the products. Okay, so carbon dioxide is not oxidized. Carbon dioxide is not oxidized. We always have to look towards the reactant. Copper is oxidized. Copper is not oxidized. It has lost oxygen. Carbon is reduced. Carbon has gained. It has not reduced. So the correct option will be copper oxide is reduced. That is option A is correct. Option A. Now an interesting question. Which row gives the colors observed when thermophthalene and methyl orange are added separately to the named solutions? So we have two indicators, and this is again you would say it's a little bit challenging or tricky question, because you have to side by side or simultaneously look at the color changes of two of the indicators. That is newly introduced, that is thermophthalene against phenolphthalein. It is newly introduced before few years, and methyl orange is our old indicator. So you must remember the color ranges. So we have to check the correct color that comes in particular solutions. So let's see option A. Option A contains dilute HCl, that is a strong acid. Color with thermophthalene, colorless. Alright, this is correct. Color with methyl orange, yellow. In acids, the methyl orange will be red in color, so wrong. First one is correct, but the other one is wrong. You have to look at an option like this, like horizontally you have to look at the correct option, and all the horizontal options should be matched and correct. So this is wrong. B, dilute HCl, color thermophthalene, blue, no, and with methyl orange is red, totally wrong, because thermophthalene is colorless in acid and methyl orange is red, so it's totally okay. If one option is correct, another is wrong, so it's again wrong. Let's look at the option C. Aqueous sodium hydroxide, a strong base or alkali. Color in thermophthalene, colorless, wrong, and in methyl orange is red, again totally wrong option. It's not colorless in thermophthalene and it's not red in methyl orange, that's for acids. Last option, aqueous NaOH, thermophthalene color is blue and color with methyl orange is yellow. Perfectly correct answer, because in base thermophthalene changes color from colorless to blue, and in methyl orange changes color from yellow, from orange to yellow in the basic or alkaline medium. So option D is correct. So students, if you don't look at the options correctly and in horizontal direction, you can easily lose this MCQ and the mark. So be careful. A mixture of two substances R and S is heated gently. So we have a mixture, it contains R and S both. Okay, the damp red litmus paper turns blue, and we have inserted a litmus paper and that is red in color, and it changes from red to blue after some time. So we have to look at the options, which of the following substances is present in the mixture. So we have to identify what is R and what is S. Okay, the litmus paper changes from red to blue. That means the particular substance must be a base, because litmus changes color from red to blue in basic substances only. So let's see which one is basic. A basic oxide, okay, and ammonium chloride and a basic oxide. Whenever, okay, so R and S must have reacted to form a base or a basic gas. So ammonium chloride, NH4Cl, ammonium chloride, okay, ammonium chloride and any basic oxide like copper oxide. So copper oxide, a basic oxide, or we can also take sodium oxide. So they can react together to form salt, NaCl, plus water, and plus ammonia gas will be released. So let's see, option A is looking correct for me. A basic oxide and sodium nitrate. Sodium salts won't react with a base. An acidic oxide and ammonium chloride, no, they can never release ammonia gas. An acidic oxide and sodium nitrate, no. Again, so option A is correct. And so students, why I am saying that this is correct, because of the property of the alkalis, that they react with ammonium salt to form salt, water, and ammonia gas. So ammonia gas, that is going to release from the test tube, will turn red litmus paper to blue. So option A is correct. That is a reaction of bases with ammonium salts. So over here, a basic oxide, for example sodium oxide, react with ammonium salt like ammonium chloride to form salt, NaCl, water, and ammonia gas will be released. Okay, which reactants are used to make copper sulfate salt? Which reactants are used to make salt copper sulfate? Dilute acid plus alkali. Okay, dilute acid and alkali for copper sulfate CuSO4. Dilute acid would be H2SO4, and alkali, we don't have any alkali of copper. Copper hydroxide is water insoluble, so that's the reaction is considered as wrong. It is not an alkali, it's a base. Dilute acid plus metal carbonate. Okay, we can take dilute acid like sulfuric acid and a metal carbonate like copper carbonate. So this copper carbonate and sulfuric acid will react to form copper sulfate, water and carbon dioxide gas. That's correct. Option B. Dilute acid plus metal. No, copper doesn't react with dilute acid. We know this thing directly. It's a very you would say it's a less reactive metal or least reactive metal, so it directly doesn't react with acid. Dilute acid plus non-metal oxide, never. It's again a twister. So B is correct, because copper sulfate is always made whenever if you have to use an indirect method to prepare copper salts, because copper doesn't react directly with acid. So we have to take it alternative resource like copper oxide, copper hydroxide or copper carbonate. These substances must be water insoluble so that we may react it with sulfuric acid and then filter off the remaining solution, and so the residue will be filtered off in the residue form, separated out, and the copper carbonate copper sulfate solution will be you would say obtained in a china dish. Later on we are going to evaporate it and then like crystallize it till dryness to obtain the salt. Okay, so last part of today's episode, that's option number MCQ number 20. Which statement about the periodic table is correct? So they're asking about periodic table statements and we have to very carefully study them, otherwise again the option can be considered wrong in a hurry. So here we start. The elements are arranged in order of increasing relative atomic mass. The elements are arranged in order of increasing relative atomic mass. No, they're not arranged in order of increasing relative atomic mass, because the elements are arranged in order of increasing proton number. Okay, the reactivity of elements in group 1 and group 7 increases as the groups descended. No, group 1 reactivity increases down the group and group 7 reactivity decreases down the group, so that's again wrong. Elements in the same period have similar chemical properties. No, the properties of elements differ periodically. Elements in group 2 form ions with a positive 2 charge. Correct, absolutely correct, because elements in group 2 definitely will form a charge of +2 because they lose 2 electrons respectively. So I hope the episode is clear to you. Inshallah, we'll meet you soon in the other part of this episode. Thank you.